You smiled. You looked at him deeply. You started crying. You felt annoyed. You looked at him deeply. Your plans sound very you. I'll miss you. I wanted you to come with me. Okay. Your plan sounds very you. Nothing about his plan surprised you. Honestly, you felt like you should have seen it coming. But regardless, you had to support him every step of the way. He exhaled, releasing some tensions in his shoulder. Thanks for hearing me out on this. You knew him well enough to know that Cove wasn't feeling completely better about the way things were. No matter what happens, what's happening, I want you to know that you won't ever lose me. I won't really be gone. I'll still be there for you the best I can, whether it's long distance or whatever else. Cove's full expression softened, his lips pulled together in an affectionate smile.
Okay.
Because you deserve to have everything you wanted in life. You laugh at his bold declaration. Thank you, Cove. I want you to get everything you want in life. You didn't know how to sign. You teared up. You're wonderful. I want you to get everything you want in life. That flew out of your mouth immediately, but you meant every word. His mouth pulled into a delicate grin. Looking at you fondly, Cove took a step closer. He spoke to you softly, wholeheartedly. He meant every word. Things are hard right now. It scares me, but it'll be okay. It'll be more than okay. Now things are up to us. We can make our lives better than they were ever. You believed him. You appreciated his attempt to put on a brave face. You felt unsure. You felt better after his reassurance. Whether Cove realized it or not, he said exactly what you needed to hear. He was right, and you almost felt excited, wanting to know what kind of future was waiting for you a few years from now. Deeply, you met Cove's gaze. You nodded. At his expression morphed into a look of careful confidence. Clearly, he was still struggling with this topic, and you wondered what else might be on his mind. This was a start, I think, but it's not over, is it? We'll have to keep talking about it going forward. Yeah. Cove softly reiterated his promise. It'll all be okay. We'll still always be there for each other. Is that good with you? It is. Cool. That's cool. I'll see you tomorrow, Z. I'll see you. Night. He pulled you into an unexpected hug. It knocked the breath out of you, yet couldn't have been a more reassuring feeling. You returned his embrace and stayed that way for as long as you could.
Good night.
He finally let go, giving you another smile. Then Cove started walking away, but you remained there frozen in the middle of the street. You watched him and wondered how many more times will he be able to say that he'll see you tomorrow. You hoped for countless more times. Finally, you turned towards your own house. You vowed to yourself that you would make the most out of every moment you had this summer. Oh, there we go. We already were recording for 2 hours and we still haven't done any of the errands. I guess, well, not errands, but like activities. But, hey. You grabbed the large beach towel from off your bed and stuffed it into a bag. You had already packed your water bottle for your upcoming beach hangout session. The stars had aligned and somehow everyone was free today. Miranda had set things up with several bubbly phone calls between you, Cove, and Terry to find a time to hit the beach. You were hoping that this would be a fun time together. Okay. Cove sat on your windowsill and kicked one of his legs into the air idly. He already had his swimsuit on and his towel was bundled under his arm in a misshapen ball. Oh, misshapen, my bad. He showed up earlier that morning with a surprising amount of enthusiasm. He was chatting as you caught up to his preparation. But seriously, I couldn't find my swimsuit this morning. I looked everywhere and it disappeared. I had no idea what I was going to do. You could have gotten a new one on somewhere. What happened to all your other swimsuits? You don't have to wear a swimsuit to be on the beach. Yeah, it's completely vanished somehow, just like your old sand pail. That's such a weird callback. You could have got a new one somewhere. You being a little late is better than you not showing up at all.
Sure.
But I like this one. Anyways, I don't know why it was in the bathroom when I never put it there. He gave a small smile and readjusted the towel in his arms. You now could see that it had been folded at some point and then rolled up and carried without much care.
I'm so glad.
But I'm just glad I found it. I would have been crappy to lose my favorite trunks. It's nice to see Ko so happy and comfortable in what he was wearing. You walked over to your dresser and mussed about how you had to pick out your own swimsuit. Your weight had complicated your swimsuit shopping. Not many swimsuits were well fitted on someone who's petite. And then for the shape of your body, you were heavy set, you were chubby, you had curves, you were generally medium, you were slender, you were scrawny. I want to say I'm slender. And you had noticeable muscle, you had little muscle, your body was soft, your body was delicate. I'll just say it's soft, I guess. There was a smooth feel to your build without any hard muscle, even if you flexed. You had become heavier than what you had used to be when you were younger. You had grown over the years and fleshed out a little more.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about some things. What things? Just myself and my body, really. His eyebrows rose at your admission of self-reflection. And what do you think? What did you think of who you were? You considered your identity further. You always felt sure about your gender. You wondered if your gender was really something you felt right about. I've always felt sure about my gender. Being called her was right for you. And you had small boobs. I just read it so casually. Your breasts were not exactly small, but not huge either. You were well endowed. In the past, you had breasts, but had them surgically removed. You had small boobs. They were notable enough to appear on your silhouette, though that was about it. You liked the size you had. You wish they were smaller and might get reduction. You wish they were bigger and might get implants. You used a binder. He used a binder, but also considered other options. You left them as they were. We're considering options for them. I mean, I'm totally okay with my size, but like, I feel like constantly being told, oh, big is the best, kind of gives me self-doubt. But when I hear girls who have bigger boobs complain, kind of makes me happy with what I have. You like the size you had. People had a lot of their identity wrapped up in their physical form, which shaped their self-image. You were confident in yours, you were comfortable in yours, you weren't really content with yours, you hated your body, you knew you had body dysmorphia. You were comfortable in yours. Your body was you, and it was a good one that you felt content in. You used to not feel as good when you were younger, but you had since grown into your body. You felt more at home now and less uncomfortable. You focused on Cove again, he smiled at you, and tilted his head, a question still in his eyes. He was waiting for you to come to an answer, but before you could, you had something to say to him. What do you think about me? You like the way I look, right? These both mean the same thing, just worded differently. I guess I'll go with the first one. What do you think about me? About how I look, I mean. Ko smirked a little, his eyes taking you in easily. Fishing for compliments, Z. You look great. Everyone knows that, including you, by the way, unless that's changed. You pouted, you laughed, you blushed. I didn't want a compliment, I was just asking. So what if I wanted you to compliment me? You still should. I didn't want a compliment, I was just asking. Fine. Cove shook his head. His hand went up to try to unsubtly cover his smile. I was kind of worried you were so in over your head because something was wrong. Guess not. I'm glad.
Hey.
Cove gave a bent smile, pointing to your arms. You're looking particularly shapely today. It's... He answered not with words, but a solid okay sign with both hands in the same cheek. Cove suddenly flustered when he realized how boldly he complimented you. He stood by it, even if he was a little red. You were a little taken back. That came out of nowhere. You glanced at yourself. You like that? Yeah. You started to flex and show off jokingly. You flirtatiously stretched. You stood there stunned. You're so fantastic and sweet. You have some very good arms yourself. You hugged him. I'd probably go with this response. Cove ducked his head and started to rub his left arm. It seemed he was much more prepared to rain praise on you than to receive it himself. He barely could respond. Thanks, you too. I already said that, huh? Thanks. Finally, you felt that was enough of that topic for one day. You went back to your original goal before you got sidetracked. You needed to pick what you wanted to wear to the beach. You chose to wear casual clothes instead. You picked a one-piece swimsuit. You decided to pick a two-piece bikini. You picked a two-piece tankini. You wanted to wear your wetsuit. You wanted to wear swim trunks with the top. You decided to wear a Speedo with the top. So I used to be obsessed with tankinis because it's like cool. It's not a one-piece. Don't feel like a child. It's still two-piece. It still covers up. Then eventually I got older. My family, mainly my sister, forced me to start wearing bikinis. I'm kind of okay with them now. While you dug around in your drawers, you tried to think if there was anything else you were missing. You took sunglasses, you grabbed a hat, you grabbed your board shorts, you picked out a regular shirt to wear as well, you grabbed a full swimsuit, so cover up to wear as well, you took goggles. And I picked out a regular shirt to wear as well. With that taken care of, you held your outfit together and looked to Cove. He was tapping his toes on the side of the wall as you waited. You vaguely wondered if he thought that was a comfortable place to sit. You hoped so, given how long he perched on it. Regardless, it was time for him to go. You weren't going to put on your beachwear with him just chilling there. I need to change. Cove smiled, content with being kicked out. Alright. Cove lowered himself off the window and strolled past you to get to the door. He lightly brushed his fingers against your cheeks when he passed by. I'll see you up front. Okay. When you were alone, you got undressed and put your swimwear on. You also checked your beach bag for the final time, and it seemed like you hadn't forgotten anything. You left your room and hurried down the stairs, ready to meet Cove. You made sure to lock your front door and walked outside. Cove stood in the road, looking down and scuffing his feet on the asphalt. When you shut your heavy door, he looked up at you and smiled. Hey. Hi, Miranda and Terry are going to be here in not too long. Terry even texted me earlier saying she was mostly on schedule.
Well,
why don't we just head to the beach and wait for them there? We're both ready. That sounded like a good idea to you. You said as much, and Cove shot off a quick text telling the two of them where you'd be. Cove gave you a thumbs up after the message sent. It was a familiar path to walk. It wasn't long until you reached the shore. Cove laid out his towel on the warm sand. You set up your stuff beside him and looked out into the ocean. Rolling swells hit the shore rhythmically. You all had lucked out. It was a beautiful day. The sky was clear and the waves were good. It was a balmy summer day, but with a pleasant breeze to keep things comfortable. Essentially, it was perfect.
So?
Do you like heading into the water? Maybe just walk down the shore, or would you want to do something out here? The water sounds good. Taking a stroll would be fun. I don't mind my feet getting in the water. You planned to just get some sun. Either way is fine. What would you want to do? I feel so called out by that last option. Yeah, I guess I would go with that. Either way. Maybe walk a little at first anyway. We can do that then. Cove nodded, accepting of the plan. He kicked some sand off his towel, absent-mindedly. Yeah, sounds nice. You took a deep breath and tasted the relaxing salty air. Cove caught your eye and gave you a small smile. You chatted a little before a comfortable quiet settled over the two of you. Content to watch the waves as you waited for the others. Luckily, it didn't take long until you heard shouts. You turned your head to see both Miranda and Terry running straight for you. Miranda was faster, making leaps and bounds across the sand. Terry followed in her wake, laughing with her towel clutched around her shoulders and flowing like a cape. Miranda started making her jumps more theatric and more precarious as she got closer. Cove waved them on with a bright grin. You shouted greeting, you cheered at their antics, you waved too, you laughed, you shook your head, you hoped they wouldn't fall. I feel like I'd be laughing and shaking my head, but I'll probably just laugh. You laughed. They always found a way to make such a memorable entrance. The two officially arrived at Cove, and Cove's in your setup, looking completely ready for an ocean adventure. They're already in their swimwear and were raring to go. Hey Terry, Miranda, welcome to our beach.
Hey!
Hello, hello. She beamed and Miranda nodded with a smile.
Oh yeah!
Man, I'm so pumped. Yeah, I'm really glad this worked out. What have you guys been up to over here in your town? Cove, Z, have we missed things? Cove blinked and then shrugged when nothing he wanted to mention came to mind. You shrugged like Cove, you gave a vague answer, you gave her a recap over how your family was doing. What have you been up to? I'd probably give a vague answer. Just stuff, nothing too interesting. What are you insinuating? She looked skeptical but dropped it. Terry then started talking about her morning and how she almost overslept since she had stayed up too late last night. She bounced on her feet as she spoke. But don't worry about me being tired today. You know I ran on less back during the school. So true. Actually me. Miranda filled in the group about her morning. Apparently everything had gone smoothly. She met up with Terry on the way here and you knew the rest. Coast offered a suggestion to the girls. Hey, let's walk while we catch up. Oh yeah, definitely. Once everyone's stuff was settled on the beach, the group strolled over to the shoreline. The wet sand was cool under your feet. A wave rushed up and covered your ankles in water. You flinched from the suddenness of it, but by the next wave, you were acclimated. You took another step forward and sank a little into the ground. Behind you, your footprints were soon smoothed by the waves. Your friends chatted as you all walked together. You took turns pointing out cool shells or pieces of sea glass. It was a relaxing jaunt. Hours passed and the group had moved between different activities, some low-key and some more exhaustive. For you, it was another break time. You sat on your towel and sipped at some water. Your friends were hard at work, burying Terry's full body under a pile. Miranda used her arms to force up sand around Terry's side. Cove worked on covering Terry's feet. You took another drink and closed your eyes. Eventually, a shadow passed over you, dampening the light that was still notable even behind your eyelids. Oh, is it that? What's his name? What was his name? Oh no, it's Cove. You checked to see Cove had joined you there. He knelt down to dig around in the pile of assorted beach stuff in the middle of everyone's towel stuff, and pulled out the sunscreen. He took a seat next to you on his towel. He opened the bottle with a soft pop and began to reapply the cream. Hey. Hey! He ran his hands across his chest to work the sunscreen in, and you might have checked him out a little from the corner of your eye while still sipping some water. After he finished up, Cove let out a comfortable sigh and looked off into the distance. But then he sighed again, with this time in an exaggeratedly disappointed way. You wondered if he was going to sigh again, even more dramatically if you didn't say anything.